The altcoin window is being framed as 6 to 12 months, but the useful part is rotation, not promises. Liquidity is building at lower ranges, and trading volume is expanding across parts of the altcoin market. That does not guarantee a new cycle. It does show why analysts are separating projects with utility and network activity from coins that only depend on short-term hype. The immediate pressure point is ADA development, Pi utility, HBAR enterprise use, SOL liquidity sensitivity, XRP payment utility, and broad altcoin volume, because the first reaction only matters if those signals confirm it rather than fade. The confirmed list being watched includes Cardano, Pi Network, Hedera, Solana, and XRP. Cardano is tied to ecosystem growth and upgrades. Pi remains speculative because open market activity is limited and usefulness still has to be proven. Hedera is tracked for enterprise alignment, Solana for high beta market sensitivity, and XRP for cross-border payment utility. The basket is not one trade. It is 5 different narratives. This baseline keeps the story grounded in analysts are watching a 6 to 12-month crypto window as liquidity builds at lower ranges and altcoin volume, expands, and prevents early attention from being treated as final proof. Most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. The mechanism is capital rotation. When liquidity builds at lower ranges, traders often start looking for assets that can attract flows before a broader expansion phase. Utility matters because the market is trying to identify where adoption, integrations, and network activity can support demand. Cardano's slower build, Hedera's enterprise focus, Solana's liquidity sensitivity, and XRP's payment role each offer a different reason for attention. Mechanically, capital rotation appears to be favoring projects with use cases, network activity, scalability, payments, and enterprise narratives. That link is what turns the headline into a concrete risk, access change, liquidity test, or adoption signal. The impact is on viewers trying to avoid chasing every altcoin with a loud headline. A 6 to 12-month window can be useful only if it is tied to concrete signals. For ADA, that means development and usage. For Pi, it means ecosystem utility and real activity. For HBAR, it means enterprise integration. For SOL, it means whether liquidity remains risk-on. For XRP, it means whether payment infrastructure narratives keep strengthening. The affected side is specific. Altcoin viewers need to separate disciplined cycle positioning from unsupported wealth wave hype. That group feels the practical consequence before the wider market has a settled answer. The open question is whether the market structure becomes expansion or just another accumulation false start. Rising volume can appear before rallies, but it can also appear during volatile rotations that fail. Pi's speculative status is especially important because user interest does not equal proven market utility. The confirmed part is a watchlist and a market setup. The unconfirmed part is performance over the window. The limit is also specific. The window does not prove that any listed asset will outperform or that volatility will disappear. Keeping that limit visible prevents uncertain data from being treated as certainty. Most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. The next signal is follow-through in volume, network usage, and adoption metrics across the 5 assets. Watch whether capital rotation stays selective, whether development activity turns into users, and whether enterprise or payment narratives produce measurable progress. The practical readout is that this window rewards evidence, not slogans. A coin belongs in focus only if its own signal improves. A stronger follow-through would show up through ADA development, Pi utility, HBAR enterprise use, SOL liquidity sensitivity, XRP payment utility, and broad altcoin volume. A weaker read would appear if those signals fade or fail to confirm.